Good afternoon and welcome to Forever Sports. Today we will be watching along for the launch of Red Bull's new challenger for 2023. I hope you guys are excited as I am today to see what Red Bull have in store for us. Lots of rumors also going around at the moment about Red Bull possibly signing with Ford. So definitely an interesting day ahead of us. We have about 10 minutes now to go until Red Bull start their live stream of the launch of their car, so we will just hang tight for a bit until that starts. While we wait, we'll go onto Twitter and just see what people are saying and people's reactions as we go along today. Just having an issue with Twitter at the moment, so let me just sort that out quick. If you're following, let me know in the chat where you are or tuning in from today. I've seen quite some interesting concept liveries that people believe we will be having. So there's obviously the old RB18 now going on to the RB19. This is a great concept livery by Magic Racing Design. Eight minutes still to go till the start of the Red Bull stream. If they go with something like this livery, I think it would be really, really cool. It looks just so fast. Red Bull have obviously stuck to their current livery design for quite some time now, so it would be great to see them shaking it up a bit. Today's launch for Red Bull will be taking place in New York City. This has further fueled, obviously, the speculation of Ford signing with them, as well as them possibly announcing it today, which would be very exciting if it does happen. Lots of pictures with Daniel Ricciardo, obviously him signing back to the Red Bull Academy after he was dropped by McLaren at the end of 2022. I certainly hope to see him back on the grid in the future. If not 2024, then maybe 2026 when Audi come in. I think that is what he is hoping at the moment, is to get a seat with Audi. Also, I assume Mick Schumacher would also be looking at that at the moment, if he can get out of his Mercedes seat. Some cool promotional videos that they've done in different countries. Obviously, this one in Japan, home of their engine supplier Honda, just racing the bullet train. Some teasers of tonight's event. I wonder if any of those designs on their uh, promotional signage might be an indication of what the livery might look like. One of my favorite liveries that Red Bull has done to date is their Honda tribute livery. Just looked so great on track. 5 minutes to go now until the start of the stream. So if you're just joining us, welcome. Please do subscribe as well as give us a thumbs up. That would be great. Some videos of Red Bull's showroom. Oh, just what a magnificent place. I'd love to go and look there one day. Just the history of all of their race-winning cars. Some teasers for today's livery launch with one of the old Red Bulls driving through the streets of New York. Twitter's really acting up here today, apparently. Another 3 minutes to go till the start of Red Bull's stream. Twitter really is acting up, so I'm going to rather use it on my phone, as it doesn't seem to be working on my desktop. Lots of people obviously sad to see the RB18 go, as it was such an iconic car, the first of the new Formula One era, as well as it was just so dominant in 2022, just absolutely decimating the Ferraris and the Mercedes and the rest of the grid at that. So let's see what Red Bull have to offer this year, if they have something that is just as competitive, if not more, if they've maybe found any loopholes in the regulations, or yeah, we'll just have to see what is in store for us today. One minute to go until the stream starts. Yeah, I'm quite excited for this. Sorry, it looks like we lost audio there for a second. Christian Horner is still up on stage at the moment speaking about the importance of this year as well as uh, the drivers for this year, just saying how they need to be on top of their game to follow up from last year. Lots of tweets coming through talking about the new, well, the launch at the moment so far. Some more pictures of Christian Horner up on stage. Red Bull currently talking about other people that are sponsored under the Red Bull brand. So just talking about multiple sports personalities that they sponsor. Um, Obviously, just teasing us up until we can see the launch of this car, making us wait very patiently for this. Firstly, being 7 minutes late, and now making us go through all this. Someone tweeting my feelings at the moment while we're waiting for them to get to the real star of the show here. Talking to some more of their uh, Red Bull athletes at the moment, just some of their Olympic athletes. Um, yeah, just waiting till we see some other people up on stage. People just obviously getting a bit upset that it's taking some time to get going. That's what we're watching at the moment. People having a bit of a discussion. Obviously, not what we're waiting for. So hopefully, it doesn't take too much longer. Please excuse the expletives on Twitter, of course. People being very impatient, waiting for the car to get launched. I mean, aren't we all? We all just want to see what this new car is going to look like for 2023. But yeah, Red Bull making us wait a little bit. Red Bull really keeping us on the edge of our seats here while we're waiting for the car to be revealed. Talking to another athlete again, I think this could take some time till we see it actually being released here. Red Bull obviously sponsoring so many different types of sports. They could obviously go on forever, but hopefully they get to it eventually. Yeah, still another athlete up on stage. I'm sure if we'll scroll up again on Twitter, we'll see quite a lot of people's choice comments. People saying, "Who are these people?" Of course. Yes, I think that's how most of us feel at the moment. Just please show us the car. And we've got a whole panel discussion going on at the moment, so we could be in for a little while still before we see this car being revealed to us. Hopefully, you're watching along with me, so you don't have to put up with all of this rather than watching the official stream. People on stage don't even know what they're saying, so yeah, going well. Some great pictures being released so far from the event. Obviously, some pre-release images that were given to the public, because we can see that their new race kit looks quite different from last year. While it loads up on Twitter at the moment. The new race wear for this year looks more black than what we've seen in the past with the dark blue. So maybe we'll see a black livery coming from Red Bull. Maybe that's a bit of a teaser for today. More Olympic athletes speaking at the moment. Sergio Perez with one of his fantastic race helmets. Always a fan of his race helmet designs. Some more concept liveries being released. It's quite cool looking, but I don't know. Lost it at the moment, but I'm sure we'll find it again. There it is. Looks very cool, but yeah, just a bit too plain. People struggling while waiting for this car to be released. This is Max Verstappen's new helmet design for 2023. Obviously sticking to his traditional colors and line design on top with just some new parts being added. Still talking to all the Olympic athletes at the moment. Another picture of Max's helmet. Still looks the same on the top with some new sponsors though on the top of his helmet, as we can see. People still quite impatient. All the memes coming through, making fun of them. People, of course, taking the opportunity to make fun of Ferrari, saying that this Red Bull stream has lasted longer than the Ferrari engine did last year. Fair. Obviously, people tweeting the old pictures of the old Red Bull cars when they were still with Ford. Hopefully, moving over to something new now, we have a new presenter speaking. So hopefully, we will, well, are hopefully getting into the release now of this car. Just giving us another video. I think they might be talking about Daniel Ricciardo, who is getting involved for 2023 with Red Bull. Looks like they are talking about some artists that they're actually getting involved with. So that is also quite interesting. Maybe we'll get a custom livery at one of the races designed by this artist that they are collabing with. See if we can find any of it on Twitter. people really enjoying the build-up, clearly. Christian Horner back up on stage at the moment, presenting, talking about getting the fans more involved in the look of the car for 2023. Saying that for 2023 they are going to have custom liveries for each of the races, and a fan is actually able to help design that livery, which is really cool. Saying that the competition starts today for the first race in the US, which I think is the Miami Grand Prix. Name of the competition is called Make Your Mark, which Red Bull obviously always running competitions. This is just quite a cool new initiative to actually be able to design the livery of a Formula One car for one of the US races. Artist that they are involved with is called Mr. Doodle, so I'm sure they will be able to do something interesting with him. Just saying how they're going to auction off one of the cars that they have with the Doodle, well, Mr. Doodle livery, which is actually quite cool. Mr. Doodle obviously being famous for doodling over an entire house. It's actually quite amazing. Very exciting for Formula One fans, of course, with that car going on sale. Formula One cars don't come up for sale very often, never mind Red Bull cars. So it is quite amazing that that car will be going for auction, and it all goes to benefit their Wings for Life charity. Now bringing up on stage is Mr. Daniel Ricciardo. So obviously welcoming him back to the Red Bull family. Just I'm certainly glad to have him back in the sport, if not in Red Bull racing. So far, they haven't released any images of the car. There has been some sneak images of the, well, wow, we see there on Twitter, that looks like quite an official image. So maybe we might be a bit ahead. That looks like it's there. Doesn't look very different though, if I do say. That looks pretty official though, so I'm quite confident to say that that may very well be the official car there before it has even gotten there in their release video. Car still looks quite similar to their 2022 car. I can't seem to zoom in on Twitter, but I'll definitely be having more of an in-depth look at that later. I've been asked in the comments if I think Red Bull will win again this season. Well, as a Red Bull fan, I'd like to say yes, but I think Ferrari should be on the top of their game again. Obviously, having taken the back foot halfway through the season last year after being so competitive, they would have put a lot of resources into 2023 to be competitive again. I certainly hope that they are, because we obviously want that competition between the top teams. Mercedes also believing that they are going to be very competitive for this year. So a three-way title race would be fantastic to watch. Still waiting for any announcement from Ford, well, of the Ford Red Bull partnership. So we'll have to see, that's for sure. Still taking absolutely forever for this to get going. Still nothing official from Red Bull yet, but this Twitter picture looks quite official from the event. So maybe we have a leaked image, and it's from a verified account on Twitter. So now they are going through their teamwear for 2023. This still looks like last year's car, at least in this picture. Definitely looks like last year's car. Still busy talking about their clothing wear at the moment. So just waiting for them to say anything about the actual livery. We still haven't seen the drivers up on stage yet, so patiently waiting. I'm sure everyone is, except for the people on Twitter. Let's see if this tweet has gained some traction. So far, it's got 8,000 views, so it's looking like they may have jumped the gun a little bit. Finally, we have the drivers up on stage. It's about time. Sergio Perez talking at the moment to camera. Some pictures from Daniel Ricciardo up there on stage, up to his normal antics, of course. Daniel being obviously one of the most fun personalities in Formula One, that's for sure. And I'm sure a lot of people are glad to have him back. Obviously, he lost his seat from McLaren at the end of last season. So we briefly lost him from the sport, but Red Bull quickly snapped him up. Gladly they did, as their third driver for 2023. Here's a bit of a picture of their team wear for 2023. This pictures of Max. And yet again, someone tweeting this picture, so most of the Formula One fans watching along, waiting for it to actually get going, waking up now when everyone's on stage. Talking to Max now about what he got up to in his off season, just talking about how he was still training, of course, and keeping up with it. Formula One drivers obviously so dedicated to the sport with such heavy workout regimes and normally a lot of cardio to get them ready for the conditions of driving a Formula One car at anger. You can see all four of them up on stage as I'm watching at the moment. Max just rounding up his conversation there. Now it's Sergio's thoughts on what's going to happen this season. Max obviously saying he's going to try his best again to defend his championship. I'm sure he will. It will be interesting to see if he carries on with the number one on his car. I think he did say that he would want to keep that number, or if he will return to number 33, which he's been running since he started in Formula One. Christian Horner just pointing out now that obviously now that they have both of those championships, they turn from the hunted to the hunted for 2023. Other teams going to want to change, to match their car from 2022 and beat it for 2023. Christian Horner also just pointing out that there are some slight regulation changes for 2023. So hopefully their car, if they want to be in the title fight again, needs to be able to keep up with those small regulation changes. Obviously, they have one of the best designers in the game, Adrian Newey, so I'm sure they should be at the top of the grid again for 2023. Some people, well, it looks like Motorsport official believes that, well, Motorsport Total believes that Ford is quite official for 2023. Still no official word from Red Bull yet, so we'll just have to wait a little bit longer to hear about that. Coming, well, images coming from Formula One.de. Still patiently waiting, as many people are. So, still nothing official from Red Bull yet, but we have had some possible teaser pictures. But we see here from Ford Italia posting about, so that could very well just be confirming now without Red Bull even having said anything on their live stream yet. So that is very interesting to see. So it looks like that partnership will be official for Ford and Red Bull in 2026. Very, very exciting to see that. Just trying to find that leaked image of the car. Still absolutely nothing from the actual Red Bull stream right now, still showing other escapades that they have done throughout the year for promotional things. There is that picture that uh, someone someone tweeted of what looks like the official car for 2023. So we see more people posting from the event now. So it looks like the stream is actually what the issue is, and the press have just released the images without the official stream releasing anything. Stream was 7 minutes late, which could be the reason why. But it does look like we do have just the exact same car design for 2023. Disappointing as they teased blank canvases and all of that, but I guess that was more to do with the competition that they're holding. And here is now the official launch of the car on their live stream. And yes, it is identical to what you are seeing here on screen. That is the official 2023 Red Bull Racing Formula One car. Looking very similar here still to their 2022 car. Not much changing on their livery at all, except for maybe some new sponsors. A little bit disappointing, obviously, with those exciting livery designs from a couple render artists, just showing something fresh and new. But knowing Red Bull as a brand, they're going to try and keep their same livery that they've had for the past few years. Obviously now the exact same livery that they've had for the past 2 years. Um, yeah, not surprised, but yes, we have Red Bull once again keeping with their normal livery. Sergio Perez just talking about the process now of testing. They each only get about a day and a half in the car before the actual season starts. So they don't get a lot of time to get used to the new car with the small engine, well, small regulation changes. Daniel Ricciardo speaking about his role now at the team for this year, obviously doing a lot of simulation work for them. Yeah, just getting them ready for different races. He'll be working on setups for them, and the memes coming in, obviously. For now, I'll just leave this image up as it is what it looks like we will have for 2023. Speaking to Daniel Ricciardo again, just about how he's changed himself from when he was last in the in the Red Bull team to how where he is now in his life. Obviously, he is still very passionate for Formula One, and we expect that, of course. He's still hungry for that world championship that I'm sure he would like to have. Lots of people in the official stream as well not happy that they have just used the exact same car for 2023, well, exact same car design. What stands out for me, though, is that we have already official confirmation of their partnership with Ford before they've even announced it on their stream. So let's see what they eventually say about their collaboration with Ford. Now they're starting to talk about 2026, about the new engine regulations for 2026, saying that they have exciting news to reveal to us. And they have officially now said that they have an exciting message from Ford, which gives away that they are definitely coming into the sport for 2026, showing one of their Ford electric cars. Lots of speculation about how Ford will collaborate with Red Bull. Obviously, Red Bull now building their own engine facility at their factory in Milton Keynes. One of the biggest speculations is that Red Bull and Ford will collaborate, with Ford bringing their energy tech to Formula One, specifically their battery and electrical motors. President and CEO of Ford Motor Company now coming up onto stage. coming in a Red Bull themed Ford uh, electric Mustang. Just waiting for people to post more on Twitter about their collaboration with Ford. Jim Farley, the president and CEO of Ford Motor Company, on stage at the moment, speaking about coming into Formula One with Red Bull. Definitely an exciting partnership to keep an eye on for the future. Ford obviously haven't been in Formula One for a long time. Would have been great to have seen them run some new designs this year, obviously with that white concept, well, white blank canvas that they showed us. Obviously not official for this year. They didn't change anything at all, as we've seen people reacting quite badly on Twitter too. Daniel Ricciardo, very excited to be working with Ford, obviously saying that he's a big Ford fan and that he himself has a Ford F-150. Of course he does. He's half American himself. Obviously he has a house in Los Angeles and definitely very excited for the future with Ford joining. So we have official images now of the new racing machine for Red Bull for 2023. Still looking very similar to their 2022 championship winning car. Obviously, why would you want to change the fundamentals? But yes, there's definitely some changes I'm sure we'll be able to see in some analysis videos coming up soon. We have now coming up on stage the owner, well, one of the CEOs of Formula One, Stefano Domenicali. Very exciting to have him there. I'm sure he will be quite excited with the collaboration of Ford and Red Bull. Stefano seemingly lost somewhere. They can't find him up on stage. Running a bit late. He must have fallen asleep like all of us. Still waiting for him to come up on stage. Their stream has obviously not gone very well for them today with being 7 minutes late, delayed, and now Stefano Domenicali lost somewhere in the crowd. That looks like it is the majority of the exciting news that we see here for today's car launch. So thank you very much for joining us here at Forever Sports and Forever Motorsports. Hopefully we will be able to join you for more of the car launches this year, as well as we'll be doing some weekly news updates on what's happened here for, well, we'll do an update on the Haas Formula One car release, as well as we will try and do some of the big car releases here for 2023. I think while they are wrapping up, it looks like Stefano Domenicali has gone missing and he will not be coming up, which is quite embarrassing. But thank you very much for joining us here today, and we will definitely see you again for the next video.